How's everybody doing? I'm Ryder and Raider, and today I just wanted to talk about The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power. Everybody's been talking about it, and I just thought I'd put in my 2 cents. And my personal belief is that this whole situation is really sad. And I think of the people who made this, I think, didn't they know this was going to happen? Especially with the way things are now. Things that are coming out lately with politics in them have proven not to be successful. You would think that these people who are making this Lord of the Rings show would have known that and done something better if they were really wanting to make some kind of Lord of the Rings content. And I just think it's sad that they couldn't have done something better. Because there's so much lore for Lord of the Rings, so many books that they could have drawn from. And it's just too bad they had to take it in a weird direction and make it obvious that they're just using it as a platform to elevate their politics and their strange way of demonstrating diversity, because they act like there's never been diversity before in the history of film and video games and everything, If you've been watching movies for the last 30 or 40 years or longer, you know that there's no racism in movies unless the movie's specifically designed to show some racist period in time, but most movies have diversity, and it's like the 80s. If you watch any movie from the 80s, you've always got tons of black characters, and they're talking about this Lord of the Rings like it's the first time black characters have ever been on the screen, and I don't know, they're just acting so weird about it. I like to say that these people were born yesterday, because it doesn't seem apparent that they've been watching any movies in the last 20 years or 30 years. It's like they've just looked at a few things and happened to only watch movies with white characters, and they're like, oh, there's no black people in movies. I don't know. It's just... And this actress who's going to play the dwarf of color, as she puts it, she got interviewed, and she was talking about how important this show is to show the world that diversity matters or whatever. And it's just like, I miss the times when people didn't even think about diversity. They just put a black character or an Asian character or a white character in a movie, and they didn't think about it. They just thought, hey, I want Jackie Chan in this movie. Or hey, let's put Will Smith in this movie because he's just fantastic. And people watched the movie because it was Will Smith, not because he was black. Or they watched it because it was Denzel Washington, not because he was black. And that's the problem with Hollywood, is not establishing any actors that you'd want to go see. It's like, who are you? Yeah, I don't care. And all you're doing is talking funny. I don't know, it's like, why can't they establish some people, like, get them in some movies, get them recognized, and we will want to see their movies because of them, not because of their skin color. I don't know. Anyway, I digress. This lady who did the interview, she was acting like little girls are going to look up to her, little black girls are going to look up to her like, oh, that could be me one day. And I just think it's stupid, because they act like people can only relate to something that matches them on the screen. Like, it's like they think I could only relate to a white girl or something, and it's just like, no. I'm an only child, but I grew up with a cousin who I was with all the time. She was like my sister, and she was black. And we played video games together, watched tons of movies. We used to love playing Sonic the Hedgehog. I used to look up to Shadow the Hedgehog. She looked up to Sonic the Hedgehog. We wanted to be like them. We loved them. We had crushes on them. And I just think she was a black girl, and she liked a blue hedgehog. She was relating to a blue hedgehog. She didn't need to relate to another black girl. She was relating to a boy hedgehog that was blue. And then for another example is like, we would watch a lot of anime, and she really liked Haku from Spirited Away. Like, she was like, I want to make out with him. And it's like, okay, well, he's a Japanese boy. It's just so stupid that these people making the movies these days have the mentality that, oh, everyone needs to see somebody that is like them. They can only relate to someone that's like them. It's like, no. I want to see somebody cool who is a hero, who just does great stuff, who's a great character. It doesn't matter the race or gender. I just want to see somebody kicking butt that I can look up to. It doesn't matter, even if it's an alien, So I just think it's ridiculous that girl, that lady, when she got interviewed for the Rings of Power, she's just making it obvious that they just put this this TV show together to elevate their politics and push this really odd diversity that I don't know, it's just, to me, I don't want to see so much emphasis on diversity. Can't you just make a movie, put characters in it, any race, any whatever, gender, and we just enjoy it? Like, I don't want to think about it. I don't want to be told, this is a female lead protagonist. It's like, I don't care. You don't need to tell me. I could still like it, You don't have to. You don't have to keep beating me over the head with that information. You don't need to keep reminding me. I don't care. I'm just, if it's good or not. If it's a good movie, I'm gonna enjoy it. If it's not, I'm not. Or I might not be a fan of it. I don't know. It's just crazy. And obviously, the people making this Lord of the Rings are not. They're loosely basing it on Tolkien's work, and I think that it's stupid because there's so much lore that they could draw from. I think I said that already. And there's so much potential, so much wasted potential with this. And I don't even know what's going to happen. It's going to be interesting to watch it all unfold. This show, Crash and Burn, it's going to be crazy. I know some people will like it. But I think it seems like the majority of people really hate it already. Whether it was going to be good or bad, I probably wouldn't have been too interested in it. I'm not really a big TV show person sometimes, but if it had been something everybody was excited about, I probably would have watched it later on. I'm a big Lord of the Rings fan and The Hobbit. I've read the books, but I haven't read a lot of the side stories and different books that he put out that were, not spin-offs, but just like, I just don't know a lot about him. I don't know if he made more books than just Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. I don't know if they were actual stories or just like lore from his world. I think it was more about just the lore. But seriously, they could have drawn from that. And the same with Star Wars. When Disney came out with The Force Awakens, I think, I just don't keep up with the names. I know, it's bad. But when they put that out, we were excited, but then we started thinking, man, this is really just a repeat of episode 4. I just thought, they have no creativity. Why do they think that everybody needs to watch the same story told over and over? They could have drawn also from many things in the Star Wars universe. They could have gone into the book series, The New Jedi Order, and made a story based off of that. I think that would have been great, because I think George Lucas said that he wanted that to be canon, that story. And it sounded so interesting to me. I never read it, but heard a lot about it, and I just thought that would have made such a great movie series for Star Wars. Instead, Disney had to go and fuck it up and pretty much tell the same story over, but in a different way. And then, of course, when they went to episode 8 and 9, it was just, I don't know, went all over and crashed and burned. And, they could have also just made up their own story, because there's so much in the Star Wars universe they could have done. But of course they had to take old characters and destroy them, and I understand they thought, oh, nostalgia, we want to bring back these characters, but you still could have brought them back if you told your own story instead of building off of what was left over from episode 6. But I don't know, I just think that at this point, doesn't matter if it's Lord of the Rings or Star Wars, there's Marvel and there's DC, all kinds of stuff. They're just tearing apart characters. And at this point, I would like to see just everything start getting cut, like different things just being cut off. And I want to see new characters. I want to stop seeing my favorite characters get destroyed and dissected. I just think that new things need to come about, new characters, new stories, because everything's also getting old. They're milking things to death, and that's just making it all really sad, because I prefer to remember things the way I first saw them, like, oh wow, this was so great, and wow, they stretched it out, and now it's this garbage. Of course, we can always pretend those bad movies never came out, but it's kind of hard. But yeah, I think that people in Hollywood are clueless about what the audience wants. And I think that I've heard they have the mentality that people don't want new characters or people don't like new characters, and that's just ridiculous. But as an author, maybe for me that's a good thing because when I start getting my books published, maybe I'll get noticed more because I'll have new characters. I don't know. But I just think that a lot of things are being destroyed and they might just die off naturally because people are going to stop spending the money. But who knows, because so many people just keep going to these junky movies like the new Thor movie. I mean, it seems like a lot of people liked it, but and a lot of people are just getting so sick of what they're doing with the story. So, well, thanks for listening to my rant. I know the things I've said have been said a million times, but I'm just getting my 2 cents out there. I think when they make new movies and new TV shows like Lord of the Rings, it's really sad. But maybe this is for the better because it's going to provoke change in our entertainment. Because I don't really want to see entertainment keep going downhill and keep going downhill. I want to see something happen where we start getting better entertainment. But who knows if that'll happen. But I just personally think life sucks and I love entertainment. I love being distanced from reality. And thankfully there's still some gems out there and still some more to come. But who knows what'll happen. Only time will tell. Anyway, thank you for watching. You're really appreciated. Thank you.